Yeah, I read King when I was a teenager. He was, yeah. But when I began writing in Maine, it seemed to me that he was still very much a horror writer at the time. He's since moved much closer to crime, and my novels have moved much closer to the supernatural. So it's like we've passed each other on the road. And I've got to interview him a couple of times since then, and it's quite something to interview a writer who was. The power of his fiction was so potent when you were a teenager, because he was one of those writers who wrote very well about teenagers. And I think what's interesting now is that his writing has changed, and now you often see his writing is often about older people. It's often about loss now, or the pain that comes as you get older. And I think that's really curious, because we're always frightened. It's just that the things that frighten us change.
What are you terrified of?
You know, when you're younger, the adult world seems incredibly complex. It's how do people negotiate this tempestuous thing of relationships and divorces and childbirth and whatever it might be. And now that I'm older and I have kids, you know, now my fears are more for my kids than they would have been for myself. I mean, obviously I want them. I have two sons who are in their 20s now. I want them to be happy, and you worry about them when they're away and all those other things. And then I suppose you become gradually aware of the limitations of your body, you know, of illness, of loss.
Do you ever use writing as a means to overcome your darkest fears? Something like a personal catharsis?
No, I don't think it's cathartic at all. I think it helps to explore them, that you do get to analyze them in a certain way. But I don't think it makes me any less frightened of dying or being ill, no. I do occasionally get to, this is terrible, but when I'm having an argument with my partner, I will sometimes put that argument in a book and I will win it, you know, which really annoys her, because she will see this argument that we were having and where I would, well, I can't talk to you anymore. And I go upstairs and I write it down and I give a character a line at the end that makes him win it, and I think I secretly won it. And I won it in front of like tens of thousands of people. So you lose.